Alright, so for the last of these videos with the point digitizing, once you complete an entire sheet, so in this case when you've added points for all of the depth soundings that are part of sheet 63, then I'll have you save that up to the cloud storage, and I'll show you how to do that step. So again, the process will be you'll start a new point file in the beginning. That was the instructions in steps 1 and 2, adding points for each and every sounding, and then checking the results. Once you feel comfortable that you have it all done, the last step then is to save it out. So the way this last step goes as you upload it to the cloud is to right-click on the layer that you're working on. Pretend for the moment that sheet 63 is complete. I would then right-click on it, and the choice that I want to go to is sharing towards the bottom, and then share as a web layer, as in the World Wide Web layer. So I'll click that option. I'm just going to put behind this test, but you would just leave it at whatever it is. So you can leave that name identical to the way it is. It'll end with sheet 63. The rest of these you can leave blank. For the layer type, you can keep it as feature. For the folder, what I'd like to have you do here is just make a folder for, you won't see any options here, but for the name of this one, it'll be the LMR 1880s, and then sounding points. So sounding points, just with capitals. This will distinguish it later from the Lower Mississippi 1880s contour lines, which will be coming next. But for this, you'll have a sounding point, so it'll add that folder in. The next important step that you'll have in here is go down to groups. You should only see, maybe Hannah's, yours might have more than one, but you'll be looking for the Mississippi River Research Group. Make sure you put a check mark next to that one. And then you'll need to click Analyze. There's something weird that happens here. There's some kind of a unique identifier that's not assigned. All we have to do is right click on this error and then do auto assign them. So that's good to go. And then you'll go ahead and click publish. So what this does is for that sheet, it makes you keep your local version on your computer, but what it's doing right now is it's creating now a web version of it that's being uploaded to the ESRI Arc Online is what it's called. It's their cloud service. So once it finishes, you should see that it publishes successful. If you end up with an error here, certainly let me know and we can troubleshoot that out. Otherwise, it seems like it's working pretty well. What we'll see is if you go to ArcGIS Online, so let me just bring us in here. If you just type in ArcGIS Online, it'll be the first. It'll bring you directly to it. First hit. Go ahead and get logged in with your regular username and password. And then if you go to your content, you should see then that there's the folder for the Lower Mississippi River sounding points. And it's this feature layer that was just created, this 63 test. And if you click on that, it's good to double check to make sure that it's plotting properly. You go to visualization, and then once that loads, you'll see that your data is down here in the southern part of the United States along the Mississippi River. And as you zoom in closer, you'll see, and if this was done for the entire sheet, you would see row after row after row of points. Good confirmation that it's plotting in the right location, that things are looking right. If that all checks out, you don't have to save anything here. You can just close out of ArcGIS Online. Make sure, of course, that you save your project here. And then when you get to working on the next step, you can go ahead and turn off the 63. Turn off the 63 here, and maybe if you're going to proceed to 64, then you'll look back to the previous video to remember how to take the template and turn it into a point feature class, point GIS layer that you could use for sheet 64. And then as you zoom to this layer here, you would then start in the upper portion again and start adding your points for sheet 64. So that's really all there is to this last video. It's an easy process of doing the share as web layer, and that's going to upload it, and it's going to be backed up in the cloud. I can get access to it at that point, and I will make a local copy on my local hard drive when I have those layers start to come in. So if you would also, when you've uploaded one of the sheets, just send me an email so I know it's in there, and then I'll do my own backup of it at that point as well. All right, that's it. Certainly reach out if you have any questions or if any errors pop up, and I can help out with figuring that out. All right, carry on.